Chow succeeds retiring Raymond Siu to lead the Hong Kong police force. DSE Chinese Language exam kicks off with nearly 49,000 students sitting for probably one of the most important exams in their lives. And the White House is set to announce the Liberation Day tariffs early morning Hong Kong time, which will take immediate effect. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Chow was appointed as the new Commissioner of Police, succeeding retiring Chief Raymond Siu. Cheryl Yun reports.
Chow was sworn in this morning with Chief Executive John Lee presiding over the ceremony. The handover between the outgoing and incoming police chiefs took place earlier this week. Lee praised Chow's outstanding leadership, expressing confidence in his ability to steer the force through future challenges, and thanked the outgoing Commissioner Siu for his contributions in his 36-year service. At a press conference after the ceremony, 52-year-old Chow expressed honor at his appointment, outlining three key priorities: safeguarding national security, advancing smart policing through technology, and strengthening team culture to reinforce shared values.
The overall situation in Hong Kong is pretty stable right now. And so why do we still need to conduct so many investigations or continue some arrest, etc.? So they think that, okay, the threat has gone, but in fact it's not.
Chow, formerly Deputy Commissioner, joined the force in 1995 as an inspector trainee. Specializing in criminal investigations and intelligence, he was later seconded to Interpol General Secretariat in Lyon, France, as a criminal intelligence officer between 2012 and 2013. During the 2019 protest, he served as Kowloon West Deputy Regional Commander and later as frontline commander during the Poly-U standoff. His rapid rise saw him promoted 3 times in recent years and ascended to Deputy Commissioner in 2022. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Meanwhile, outgoing Commissioner Raymond Siu was honored at a farewell ceremony on his final working day before retirement, with Chief Executive John Lee also publicly thanking him for his contributions to the SAR.
感謝同事同埋同事嘅屋企人。
Siu expressed gratitude to all officers for their dedication over the years, stating his confidence in the force's future under new leadership. In writing, Chief Executive John Lee praised Siu's work since becoming commissioner in 2021, noting his efforts in maintaining Hong Kong's status as one of the world's safest cities. He described the police force as an outstanding world-class law enforcement agency and extended the government's sincere appreciation for Siu's service to the SAR.
Nearly 49,000 students sat for the Chinese language papers of the Diploma of Secondary Education examination today, the first core subject which is considered one of the most important exams for university entrance. Some students and teachers noted a relatively low difficulty level in this paper. Evelyn Bai reports.
In Ho Man Tin, students arrived early at the examination venue, seizing the last moment to brush up on their knowledge in the subject. This student said he had prepared everything he could, despite paper 1 being a challenge for him to dig deeper to uncover meanings in the tests. This candidate said he checked the Check-in Smart app every day in case his phone malfunctions right before the exams. The Check-in Smart app is developed for DSE students to check their exam schedule and perform self-check-in at the exam centers. This year is the second year that the exam authority canceled the listening paper in Chinese language, leaving only reading and writing to be tested in one day. This student said the reading part is about the understanding of life's meaning, in which one can follow the article to answer. This student noted the exam was a bit easier than past papers, as he could understand the classical Chinese words, which is not his strong suit. A high school teacher noted that the exam was not really hard, saying that the focus was on summarize and comprehension skills. This year saw a rise of 4,000 candidates taking the Chinese exam from last year, marking it the highest number in 5 years. Another core subject exam, the English language, is set to commence on Thursday. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Over 150 DSE candidates were offered free taxi rides from their homes to exam centers this morning for their first core subject exam. The lucky ones said the act of kindness helped them arrive more rested and prepared for the big day. Cheryl Yun tells us more.
2 candidates residing in Chow took the ferry to Central Pier around 7:50 a.m. before heading to Wafu Estate for their exam at SKH Learning Choi Secondary School. The pair learned about the free taxi service last week and successfully booked their spots. This student said he was pleasantly surprised by the service as it was completely free of charge. Grateful for the service, this candidate said it allowed him to sleep a little longer and feel more refreshed. The initiative, called the Star Taxi Free Ride, was launched by the Hong Kong Taxi and Public Light Bus Association to help students in remote areas reach their examination venue smoothly. Each taxi displayed motivational slogans, and drivers also offered words of encouragement to students. William Lam, Association Secretary General and organizer, said he hoped the act of kindness could boost the industry's reputation. As the service welcomed overwhelming response, priority was given to those living farther from their exam venues. Lam said those who did not secure a spot, about 300 in total, would still receive a $50 subsidy by submitting their taxi receipts and admission forms. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
The city's 5 newly launched taxi fleets fell short of government expectations for the first fleet to start service last month, as only 2 fleets are currently still in trial operation. One trial fleet operator indicated challenges in hiring enough cabbies. Evelyn Bai has more details.
The Transport Department granted conditional licenses to 5 operators last July, requiring them to complete gearing up and commence service by July this year.
Taking
to the airwaves, Sonia Cheng, Executive Director of SingCab Service Limited, said after 3 months of trial run, the fleet has provided better income for drivers, with an average fare of $268 per ride, an increase of 84% compared to middle rates, and offered a total of 44,000 rides for passengers. However, the company is lagging on progress with fewer 100 taxis and needs to provide 150 more vehicles to meet the government's demands for a full license. Despite the current fleet offering bonuses, subsidies, and monthly salary systems, many drivers remain cautious about joining the fleets, Cheng added. Hok Chi Keung from the Motor Transport Workers General Union also noted that drivers are weighing various factors before joining, like base salaries, holidays, and the new work mode. Secretary for Transport and Logistics Mabel Chen noted that the government has allowed room for flexibility in hiring cabbies, enabling platforms to employ drivers in various forms. Therefore, they may not necessarily have a traditional employer-employee relationship, but they share a common vision, such as using the fleet's safety devices and the ride-hailing platform, and wearing the fleet's uniform. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
The White House is preparing for what it calls Liberation Day for the U.S. economy, with President Donald Trump announcing details of a new set of so-called reciprocal tariffs early tomorrow morning Hong Kong time, with the measures taking immediate effect.
This is obviously a very big day. He's with his trade and tariff team right now, perfecting it to make sure this is a perfect deal for the American people and the American worker. They're not going to be wrong. It is going to work. And the president has a brilliant team of advisors who have been studying these issues for decades. And we are focused on restoring the golden age of America and making America a manufacturing superpower.
The specifics of the new tariffs remain unclear, but reports suggest Trump's advisors have proposed a 20% across-the-board levy on most goods imported to the U.S., potentially generating over $6 trillion annually. However, the U.S. Trade Representative is also said to be drafting a less aggressive alternative. In Beijing, Foreign Minister Wang Yi criticized the move, warning it would disrupt global markets and undermine trade rules. He said mutual respect was key to U.S.-China relations and vowed firm measures to protect China's interests. Meanwhile, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said he would not let U.S. policies weaken Canada, stressing the need for economic reform. Carney spoke with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, agreeing to boost North American competitiveness and strengthen trade ties. Analysts warn that in a worst-case scenario, which is a flat 20% global tariff with reciprocal duties, the U.S. could lose over 5 million jobs, pushing unemployment to 7% and cutting its GDP by 1.7%.
The death toll from Myanmar's massive earthquake has risen to over 2,800, with more than 4,600 injured and at least 400 still missing. Apart from a 26-year-old survivor being rescued earlier, the mainland and Hong Kong rescue teams have extracted a 52-year-old male survivor from the rubble in Mandalay. The survivor was in good condition when rescued and was taken to a local medical facility for further treatments. Xiao Yun reports.
A 26-year-old man was pulled alive from the rubble of a hotel building in capital Naypyidaw 5 days after the country's worst earthquake since 1912. In hard-hit Mandalay, buildings crumbled and debris littered the streets as devastated survivors sheltered in makeshift tents in open areas. Myanmar's military leader Min Aung Hlaing warned that death toll could exceed 3,000, adding that most missing are likely dead. Humanitarian groups said the area is in desperate need of water, food and medicine, urging international aid before monsoon rains worsen the crisis. Even before the tremor, the Southeast Asian country has been quivered by civil war since the 2021 military takeover. United Nations Special Envoy for Myanmar has called for an immediate ceasefire to allow humanitarian access. Meanwhile, Myanmar's ruling junta confirmed firing shots at Chinese Red Cross aid convoy after they failed to stop driving amid entering a conflict zone.
大灾面前，人命关天。
In Beijing, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesman confirmed that all Chinese rescuers are safe and demanded all parties to ensure the safety of aid workers and disaster relief materials. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day down 4 points. Top active stocks of the day. Xiaomi was down $1.95. Alibaba was up 20 cents. SMIC was up 40 cents. And BYD was down $4.80. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar, Euro 8.40, Canadian dollar 5.43. Forbes released its latest global billionaires list, featuring a record 3,028 billionaires, the highest number since its list began in 1987, with a total wealth reaching an unprecedented $16.1 trillion.
Tesla Chief Executive Officer Elon Musk surpassed LVMH Group CEO Bernard Arnault to reclaim the title of the world's richest person, with his net worth surging 75% to $342 billion. Following closely behind are Meta founder Mark Zuckerberg with $216 billion and Amazon founder Jeff Bezos with $215 billion. China ranked second globally in the number of billionaires, with 450 individuals on the list, up from 406 last year. ByteDance founder Zhang Yiming topped the chart as China's richest person with a fortune of $65.5 billion, followed by Nongfu Spring founder Zhong Shanshan with $57.7 billion. Tencent founder Pony Ma with $56.2 billion and Xiaomi founder Lei Jun with $43.5 billion. Additionally, Hong Kong's richest person, CK Group founder Li Ka-shing, had a net worth of $38.9 billion or 303.4 billion Hong Kong dollars.
Onto the weather now. Expect some fine weather tomorrow. The morning will be a bit cool, followed by a warm and very dry afternoon. Temperatures will range from 17 to 25 degrees. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thank you for watching and good night.